Got mail.
Here we go.
Yep.
Less Kevin
More technology.
at utechit.com, right?
There you go.
All right, today, man, this is going to be a fun one because this is something I'm passionate about, right? Golf.
And I'm excited
And you are excited.
because, as you know, I'm not a golfer, but I love to learn about this, the technology that's engaged in golf.
Well, we got to set that story up real quick about
Yeah.
why you're not a golfer. So Les was taking golf lessons from the pro.
Certified
It
pro.
wasn't Devin at Oak Point, but he was taking it from a certified pro, and Les says, how do I enjoy this game more? And the pro looked at him and he says, buy a bowling ball.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. So there he goes. But today we've got a guest, and I'm a Brighton guy, and this is a Brighton guy. And it was funny. He came top of mind the other day, and then I saw him again, ran into him at the club. But I was golfing with Rob Curl and Tom McInerney, great partners of ours with the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and we were talking, and they said, "Well, Brighton, then you know the most important Kevin." And I'm thinking, I'm looking at it like they're talking about me. And he goes, Nah, we're talking about Kevin Johnston over there at Optishot. So with that, I saw him. I wanted him on here, and they spoke very highly of you. I saw you at the golf event there.
Right.
Optishot was all over the place. They were talking about how you guys have done a great job with the Optishot events that people may or may not know about. But really, I want to talk about this Optishot because we talk about technology and golf. There's a ton of technology in golf. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
Yeah, hey, good morning. Thanks very much for having me on. And Les, by the way, you're a target customer for us, obviously. So we'll speak after the off the record here because we'd love to have you up to the academy and bang some balls to see how that golf swing actually is after becoming a serious bowler.
And I understand just from looking with your technology that I can't hurt anybody.
Correct.
Is that
yeah,
correct?
Correct. Yeah, and that's always important.
Right.
Right. We were at an event at the U.S. Open this year in June up at Torrey Pines, and a guy let the club go in the middle of a swing, which was an interesting dynamic. So, yeah, it does happen. It does happen.
Thank you for the warning.
Yeah, terrific.
Hold on.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. So we're a golf simulator company. Obviously, when you say the word simulation, people kind of gloss over most times. But we've been very fortunate to kind of reach the masses because we came into the market at a very cost-effective price point. The golf simulator market historically has been very high-end, niche, $50,000 build-out rooms, kind of that man cave on steroids. And Optishot's done a really good job driving that technology price down to give the every man, the every family the opportunity to get into simulation and improve their game.
Wow.
Obviously we're a little biased, but we truly believe that if you want to improve your game of golf, you need to have some access to technology, and that's what we think we bring to the market.
So, Kevin, I personally find it fascinating. So, what I'm hearing you say is that a person of means, or normal means, I guess, could
Correct.
put a simulator in their home.
Yeah.
Recreation facilities could put a simulator. And the market, how's the market reacting? Growing?
Yeah, it's a very interesting discussion point because obviously COVID put a lot of stress on a lot of people, unfortunately. The golf industry kind of pivoted because it became that natural social distancing.
Makes sense.
And we've seen tremendous growth over the last 18 months. Been very fortunate and very blessed to be in the space we're in. Again, we have a broad range of technology offerings. We kind of treat ourselves a little bit like BMW. We have a 1 Series, a 5 Series, a 7 Series, and depending on what your price point is, the size of the space that you're trying to put the technology into, and what your features needs are. Some guys need to know exactly what their spin is on a golf ball with a pitching wedge. The average golfer just wants to play Torrey Pines or St. Andrews and have their buddies over and friends and family over to enjoy the experience of playing simulating golf.
I think that's important when people think about it because you think expensive, right?
Right.
Golf,
Right.
sometimes expensive, simulators, we're talking this technology. But I know we have an unbelievable super duper one up there at Oak Point at
Correct.
the Academy.
Yeah.
But I also know that talking to guys there's a lot of members at Oak Point and folks around town that have them in their garage
Correct.
or their barn or their outbuilding there.
Right.
And I know we're working on getting one for our office there because we got the golf holes, but They've been on me about getting a simulator there, and Kevin is relentless.
Exactly,
so we will get it down there. But talk about that real quick.
I'm keeping you on my Christmas card list, even though you're marginally pushing me aside. But we'll get something in there eventually. Yeah. So the technology is such that in golf simulation, you do two things: you measure or calculate. Right at the high end of the business, you measure your club data and you measure your ball data. Somewhere in between, there's a little bit of calculation, there's a little bit of measuring, and we've been able to kind of encompass all of that in our different technologies. So we have three technologies: our swing pad, which is our entry-level technology, and we measure club data very, very well, and then we calculate ball data. As you jump up to our next technology, our ball flight launch monitor, that's a measure. We measure club and we measure the ball. And then as we go up to our vision technology, that's a complete 3-camera configuration, and we're measuring everything at that point: spin, launch angles, all the technical data you need to really dial in your game if that's necessary.
So how do you measure a golf club impact?
Yeah,
what are the
perfect.
mechanics behind that?
Yeah, so it's high-speed cameras at the end of the day.
Really?
Yeah. We use infrared lights and emitters at the low end. Basically, just like you would see in an invisible room, you wouldn't see the light, but the light's there. And we measure club that way, and then we calculate ball. But at the high end, we're using cameras. There's other technologies in the marketplace. Everybody's heard of TrackMan when you watch the PGA Tour. Probably the Ferrari of the industry. Like that outdoor technology is second to none. You can't really beat it. We're not an outdoor product. We've really kind of focused on bringing an indoor experience to golf simulation.
Interesting. And then, so the second calculation or the second measurement,
Yeah,
is the ball.
correct.
Yeah. So how do you go about that?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, you're at 100-mile-an-hour club head speed
Right.
with some of these guys that can really swing a driver. So that's happening instantaneously. We've done it a couple of different ways. We've used one camera with mirrors to kind of get duality. So the camera's catching the ball, and then the mirror's catching the club. So we've done it that way to help reduce costs in the product. We're in a marketplace right now, as everybody's well aware of, that chips and cameras and all that kind of technology is becoming very scarce. So we're fortunate that one of our technologies only has one camera in it, as an example. But as you go to our overhead systems, which is our high end product, you're measuring club and you're measuring ball.
So and so all this data gets gathered,
Correct.
right? And then, so what makes sense of it all to give you the report that you can then improve your game with?
Yeah, right. So we do it in a couple different ways. We have a situation where you can just go play a course. So you can have your friends over, go and play Torrey Pines, go and play the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which is one of our courses, Detroit Country Club, and just go play a round of golf, right? And you can putt, you can chip, you can drive, you can do all those things necessary, or you can go to the driving range and you literally get a spreadsheet that shows up on the screen of all your data points: launch angle, directional of the ball, smash factor, distance, carry, spin, all those necessary pieces of information to improve your game.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So it's somebody that's a serious golfer, right?
Yeah.
I can. Well, maybe not me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm a serious golfer, but I'm not going to improve, right?
Yeah.
I'm stuck where I'm
serious,
at.
right.
The cake is baked with me.
Yeah, right.
But no, a serious golfer can use it to make vast improvements, right?
Correct.
But it's also something that a guy like Les could enjoy. Not a
Exactly.
golfer,
Exactly.
but he goes out and we play it with a bunch of guys, have a cocktail or two.
Yeah.
Plus, I
and
can't kill anybody.
have fun.
or
Yeah,
hurt
you can't hurt
anybody.
anybody.
Right, exactly. And I think the key is, once you have a couple of key data points in terms of what your golf swing does, the difference between the amateur golfer and the pro golfer is they know how to make adjustments when things start to go wrong. And most of us, when we're out there and all of a sudden we're hitting wedges dead left, we're like, why are we doing that? And having that little data in the back of your head that's saying, this is why, it helps you correct, to be honest with you. And that's what I think that's one of the big advantages of having access to technology.
So with this technology, right? So I get my data points. I can. Do you provide the pointers, or is it up to the individual golfer?
So that's terrific. So nice segue. We actually have a product called the Optishot Academy. It's an app on your phone. We're very fortunate enough to partner with the Golf Leadership Academy in Farmington Hills, Chad and Ben, and we shot a whole series of how-to videos, around the drivers, around your irons, around the mental part of the game. And you can have that app in your phone, and as you go through and play in the simulator, you can go to the app and really learn what the game does for you when you do this with your golf club.
So it's like having a coach.
Yeah, it's a built-in, it's a pocket coach, right?
Nice.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So again, vertical integration, right? We're kind of going up and down the food chain in terms of what we offer our customer base.
Good.
I was just going to ask you mentioned Torrey Pines,
Yeah.
Detroit Country Club. What about the really challenging courses, the ones that have like a clown and a windmill? There's a windmill.
Well, the good news is we do have games in our software.
I see,
Yeah,
okay.
yep. So you can do that sort of stuff, and the kids absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I catch most of my employees on Friday afternoons in the simulator. And there's usually a 5 spot on the floor somewhere, and that's usually what the game becomes very quickly.
Got it.
Yeah, very,
okay.
very
Just want to
quickly.
make sure we had all our bases
Exactly,
covered.
exactly. Yeah.
So with Optishot, I know I saw some stuff from you before. I was pretty
Yeah.
impressed with. You also have some other things besides golf too, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. So we also have a hunting simulator that's been in the marketplace for probably about 2 years now. We're really excited about the progress and development of that technology. We're moving towards a product called Shield, which is a kind of a byproduct of the hunt simulator. So you can hunt boar and bear and all those sort of things. You can do it in competition, shoot skeet. But the Shield product will situate in the marketplace to really help people understand how to use a handgun, how to train properly if you need it in your home for protection. So we're really excited about that product, and that should be a 2021 launch here with that technology.
So if somebody's, sorry, I was just wanted to ask if
I was going to say, if he had a product like that, it's very imperative he gets a hold of Vince Parlov and Donnie Bishop. They both need to know how to use a handgun,
Excellent. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right.
So if you're intimidated by going, or if it's
perfect.
if something you ever wanted to explore, but you don't feel comfortable going to a gun range,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's a significant. You can be very intimidated going to a gun range, and this brings it into your home. Very comfortable around the family. Obviously, there's no live ammunition, and it can really give you the understanding of how to handle and perform with a handgun in your hand.
I'm going to transition off that real quick.
Yeah.
I heard you say family, and one of the things that have always impressed me about Kevin is that you see him around town everywhere. We like to play golf, so we play in a lot of these sponsorships, charity outings, and things like that up there at Oak Point. But I don't think I've been to one where you're not there in full force, and it's not his team's there, supporting any organization or anything like that. But your family's around town all the time too.
Right.
Just tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, we've been in Brighton for 22 years. I'm Canadian born. I married my wife, Kaylin Hess. She's at Kevin Johnston now, and she reminds me every Thursday that she's my green card. So I've got to deal with that. But we've been very blessed. We've got two beautiful boys. Chase actually is a Grand Valley grad. He went and played soccer there, and runs the Midwest for me at Optishot now, which is fantastic to have him in the company. And two of the guys that he played soccer with, the Cooper brothers, also Brighton High School graduates, went to Grand Valley and played soccer, and now they work for us as well. So we're very fortunate. We got a great team. The family is such that our youngest son, Beckham, is about to turn 18, which is hard to believe, but he's on the autism spectrum. And one of the reasons that we're in Brighton and stay in Brighton is honestly because of the school system and the community here. It's just a fantastic environment to raise him. Everybody knows him. They call him the mayor a lot. We go through the Myers and the Targets, and we bring him to every golf outing.
Yeah,
we've been fortunate enough to work with Work Skills here locally, which employs special needs adults. It's a Brighton company. We just did the Fun for Life tournament here locally, which is a Mark Howell venture, which is a fantastic charity.
Great program.
Great
Mark's done
program.
right.
Yeah, and Kevin, you and I have done a lot of tournaments together, charity-wise. The Livingston County Sheriff's outing. We're very proud of to be part of. So it's the perfect community to raise your family, to be honest with you. If you could lose February and part of January from a weather standpoint, we'd be in really good shape. But
we need that global warming back, right?
Yeah.
But
so I'm very blessed. So we've got the boss at home, Kaylin, takes care of us. She's become an amazing cook. I probably eat too well, to be honest with you, but it's a great life we have.
Well, no, I know you guys, and I wanted to highlight on that because I know you got some special kids there that are doing amazing things. And we see Chase all around and what he's done with Optishot, but you guys give back as much as anybody in the community, right?
I appreciate that.
There, you're involved, you're active, you want it to be a great community.
Yeah, it means a lot to us.
And I think that's pretty cool, and we should highlight stuff like that.
Yeah, greatly appreciate that. Yeah,
so
it's fantastic. Yeah.
So I always laugh because he couldn't get in the Big Ten, so he had to go to what?
Here we go.
He had to go to Syracuse, right? Is that what I hear? Did you play a little soccer yourself?
Played some soccer myself 100 years ago. Yeah, the body's kind of held up, but as we were saying earlier, when your digits roll over 5, the body starts to break down. So I had a great experience. As a Canadian kid coming down to the U.S. and I was on every college campus east of the Mississippi, the Notre Dames and Miamis and UConns and Georgetown back in the day. It was a great experience. Yeah.
Well, I laughed because we were at the Pro-Am pairing party there for
right.
the Rocket Mortgage Classic down at the Detroit Golf Club, and I look across, the way they had to set up. We were here, and they were across the green there. I think it was 16, if memory serves me right. And they're calling out the names, and you get matched up with pairing. And I look over there, and who do I see? I see, after this is over, Mike Tirico, and I see Kevin Johnston there. I said, all we're missing is Jim Boheim here. And then we have everybody. We have all the elite alumni from Syracuse, right?
Yeah. And again, what a terrific individual Mike Tirico is. Like, he's never forgot my name in 20 years. Like, he just comes up, we talk. He lives in Ann Arbor, obviously, and what a great voice and ambassador for sports and golf.
Yeah, I just saw him at Barton Hills Tuesday night. Just having dinner, and he's there with his wife, and they shake hands walking out. But
great guy.
Great
guy. Yeah.
Good company there at that school.
Curious, where in Canada?
Just outside Toronto. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did my MBA at University of Toronto, but I grew up in a town called Burlington. My mother and father, Scottish parents, had a great family. We lost my younger sister when she was 25, which was a tough time for our family, but we've been very blessed. I ran around in the steel industry for about 15 years, so it was cool. Yeah, good childhood.
Yeah, Toronto's always amazed me. The city's, it's clean.
Yeah.
It's very cosmopolitan.
Yeah. When travel opens up, I always advocate you definitely should go visit Montreal and Toronto if you want a great trip with your family. What a great experience it is. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, so living in this community is the one downside of that 22 years, and painful on a lot of levels. Yeah. My wife and I don't want hockey games in the same rooms anymore. So
it's always good to have a humbling experience.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you guys might have had a couple more cups if that O'Halloran guy ever could have got a couple of those calls, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Devin's your dad listening? So it's been good. The Optishot, being a local company here in Brighton, it's a great community. Everybody's really been supportive of what we've tried to do over the last couple of years. We launched our season pass about 18 months ago, which is your tournament play. So if you have an Optishot simulator, you can play in a live tournament every week in parallel with the PGA Tour. So we had one kickoff last night in parallel with some of the events that are going around the globe, and you can win prizes. And so we're really excited about the future of that program and software.
Now, do we have one at the high school?
We do. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the Brighton High School team has one. The girls and boys go in there and bang around on it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, another great team. Paul Paulson and the girls coach and his wife Danielle and I are good friends. So yeah.
I say that because we talk about giving back, but it's just not great organizations like Fund a Life and Work Skills.
Right.
But you're active in the high school community here with the sports, and I know I have a son and daughter who've been on the golf team.
Yeah.
And they both appreciate it and are very excited. And you look at, I think your involvement in doing that and your commitment to making those young athletes better. We see that with Davis Codd winning the state championship.
It's unbelievable.
Here for men's Division I. It was you, not his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim
will be loving that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it was Davis's hard work, but
right.
T-Bone's a stud because of that.
Exactly.
And you talk about Paul Purcell.
Yeah.
And look at the girls team there. I know they're phenomenal.
The Patella girls, like, unbelievable. University of Tennessee, the two oldest, and really, really good pipeline. Brighton sports is in a good place, right? Really committed. One of the guys that works for us, Garrett Cooper, he's the assistant coach on the men's team, the men's varsity soccer team, which is kind of cool. He's actually coaching his first night game tonight because Mark's away as the head coach. So I was giving him some pointers this morning. He probably didn't need it, but I was giving them to him anyways.
We talk about the golf teams. We need help with that Jimmy Dooling kid for the men's team. You know what I mean?
Right.
If we could get there,
another stick, eh?
Yeah.
I will not play with him. He's too good. Yeah, another great kid.
So, but no, I appreciate all you do for the community. I think that as a business
vice versa,
guy,
Kevin. Yeah, you guys are fantastic.
Yeah, we try to be, but I think you got the right idea. As a business guy, we got to give back. We got to be involved, right? And that's kind of our obligation and responsibility to do that. And you do it better than most. So thank you very much. We talk about technology, new stuff coming down the road. What we got for Optishot? You mentioned something to me. And the little joint venture you're doing right now, too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've got another product called Salted Smart Insoles. It's a company out of Korea originally. Andy Lurch runs that company. We got to see it about 8-9 months ago. Basically, insoles that go into your shoes and gives you all your golf performance. It has a lot of applications in fitness, like how you're squatting, how you're running. You can run with these insoles. And again, it's just amazing. This type of technology 10 years ago was $25,000 for one of these balance plates. And now for under $225, they go in your insoles and away you go. So my salted. Yeah.
So I can take something, I can put it in my shoe, and it'll make me a better golfer.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
this is
It's
unbelievable
I know.
sport, isn't it?
Exactly.
So it's kind of the same concept. You're gathering data,
Yep.
and then you're measuring
Sure.
and making suggestions.
Sure. And I think, that's what everybody's trying to, it's kind of like that, it's wearable tech, right? Everybody's trying to get into that space because everybody wants to do that little bit extra, right? And it's not so much about when you're typically always in the activity, it's about just your general movement. And I don't care what sport you are, a quarterback of a football team. It's all about just your general movement, how your dynamics are. And this is what's really cool about what's coming down the pipeline.
See, I like that mind. I see where you're going with this stuff already. There's a lot of stuff coming. Hey, would you come back and talk to us about that?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Every Friday I'll be down here.
Well, you know what?
This is fun.
They really are going to do this. They're going to make it less Kevin, and it's going to be more, more the right
KJ,
Kevin,
more
right?
KJ.
Yeah, more KJ,
That's excellent.
If somebody wanted to get an Optishot, and they're not going to want just one, they're going to want three, right, for the garage, basement, and their office, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so simply optishotgolf.com. Come to our website. You can reach us. We actually put our phone numbers on the website as well, so we love speaking to customers. We have over 200,000 customers today. So optishotgolf.com. Obviously, we're heading into the holiday season, so it's going to be busy. Get them soon.
Yeah, that's a great point. If anybody's thinking about this, they got to get something now, right?
Right.
Because you're not going to get anything if you don't buy it today.
The supply chain is real.
Yeah, right.
It is real.
Again, I'm pushing hard for our bourbon sponsor here, and everybody enjoys a nice glass of bourbon.
Sure.
What's your flavor? What's your go-to?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate enough to partner with Ugly Dog on a couple of events, right? Mike Brazil runs their marketing group, who's also a local guy. He'd strong-arm me if I didn't bring them up on this show. So I'll give a shout-out to Ugly Dog. They've done a beautiful job down there.
Well, Mike does a great job, and I've had their products, so nobody has to strong-arm you.
Exactly.
That Ugly Dog stuff's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep. The peanut butter whiskey as well. It's kind of an interesting byproduct. We've flavored many evenings, so it's good.
Yes, and Mike will tell you how to make it taste like
perfect.
Yep.
A little bit of cranberry juice, you're off to the races for your P&J. Yeah.
So
great.
good. Well, thank you, Kevin. I'm glad we got to catch up on this, and hopefully our listeners appreciated the combination of technology and just a different spin on it. We're not talking about copiers. We're not talking about printers. We're not talking about data management.
Core business.
Yeah, core business. But here
I found
you
it
go.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Optishot's in a great place. I got great partners. The Castle Golf family that I worked for their father for probably 15 years in the steel industry are my investors. So it's a good partnership.
Okay. Well, I can guarantee you that within 24 hours, I'm going to see Beckham out there, man,
Right.
being the mayor of town and organizing things on the golf course.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you do.
Thanks.
And your support, and we'll see you around.
Yeah, greatly appreciate coming on. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
You've got mail.